All right, welcome back for another episode of Something for the Culture. I am Jazzy J, and tonight we have not only a street legend, but just a legend all around, Mr. Davey Sharks from the Get Fresh crew. Welcome to the culture.
What's up? What's up to the people, to the culture? What's going on? This is Davey Sharks on Facebook. DB Shark, the celebrity favorite, aka.
Good, good, good. So let's go ahead and jump into this interview. First off, can you tell us who you are for the people that don't know who you are and where you're from?
All right. First I'm gonna start with where I'm from. I'm representing Harlem. I'm a real Harlemite. I come up, under Dapper Dan and other people prior to that. We fashion mavericks, fashion trendsetters. What I'm saying? I introduced the high top fade to Harlem, which spread around the world. What I'm saying? But I have to honestly say that I got it from Grace Jones because that was my homegirl. And I remember telling her I was going to get my hair cut like hers. She said, "You crazy. They're going to laugh at you." I said, "They're not laughing at you." She said, "I don't give a," what I'm saying? I said, "And I don't give one either." So I started that. And I was the first non-gay male to wear pink from head to toe, starting that fashion off. And Cameron got the baton now. Peace to Cameron. So we picked up the stuff, but I started that in like '77. You know what I'm saying? Because in my days, you couldn't be gay. That got you a beat down. So pink was a color that nobody wore in their right mind. But see,
Mhm.
I'm a fashion trendsetter. So I said I want to see when I do this the reaction of the people. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So it took really well. It took caught on, and it produced people like Cameron, Lady Pink, Lady Pinky out of Harlem,
Mhm.
and different people that was really famous, known for having pink cars and pink minks and all of that type of stuff, and also wannabe. You know what I'm saying? Also, and so I rep the Get Fresh crew, but prior to them, I started out with the Ujama Black Theater. From
Mhm.
the Ujama Black Theater, you know what I'm saying? Dougie Fresh came back to get me because he promised me because I used to help him out when he was young. He said
Mhm.
when he get famous, he gonna come back and get me. He kept his word. He came back and got me. So I'm the reason for records like um she was that type of a girl. Records like Drop That Zero, Get With That Hero.
Mhm.
I play a big part in a lot of these records being put together. Doug is a genius. Let's put that he's a genius.
Mhm.
And I got a chance to work with the legend and watch him mature to what he is today. And we're still right now, even to today, when shows start back. Most likely, if he's doing a show, I'm there.
Mhm.
I'm somewhere involved with that production. So, peace to Dougie Fresh, the hardest working man in show business, Chill Will, Barry B, and to my main man, Slick Rick. Peace to y'all.
So, can you tell us how it was growing up in Harlem back in your era?
All right. Well, Harlem, growing up in my era, was kind of rough because the Harlem that people see now, that's gentrified, it was a different Harlem. It was a Harlem that was full of heroin because the government started a program called the COINTEL program, where
Mhm.
they flooded the communities with drugs so that there'd be no more Martin Luther Kings, no more Malcolm X's to raise up. They wanted to make sure that the black family was destroyed. So it was a lot of heroin, there was a lot of angel dust, alcohol, the pimps, and and we had famous drug dealers such as Nicky Barnes, Guy Fisher, Fat Stevie, street princes that people, you young, you seeing these guys, you want to be just like them. Goldfinger Terrell, Frank Lucas, Frank Matthews. You want to be just like them because everybody is doing bad, but they driving Rolls Royces and Maseratis and Eldorados convertibles. So it was really hard growing up through the drug epidemic. And it's like if you can imagine going to a football game and walking through the crowd, well, that's how the guys would be in the neighborhoods buying drugs. You
Wow.
you, you never the television has not shown you what the black youth had to go through coming through the '60s and the '70s. Every single day, your community was crowded, and the cops was right there, but they wasn't arresting nobody because they wanted it just like that. That's how they wanted it. Then at the end of that, coming towards 75, then a thing called the Dope Fiend came about. The
Mhm.
Dope Fiend was a different kind of drug user. He was a drug user that'd kill his mother for drugs. Because when the 60s, all the guys that was getting money was using heroin.
Mhm.
All the guys you hear about, Nicky Barnes, all of them was using heroin. But they were millionaires. But the Dope Fiend was pitiful. And that's so the killing rate went up, the robbery rate went up, Then crack hit by the 80s, the crack hit. So here's another epidemic, another war. So for me to grow up, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't use no drugs whatsoever, never did. That was a miracle in itself. And I influenced guys like Dougie Fresh and other guys to get, if they were using anything, to stop using it, because that's, to me, it wasn't cool. So we made records. You ain't really doing nothing, selling crack, bluffing, fronting, but you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So we were known as the Bible Kids of Rap because we was very spiritual.
Mhm.
So we made songs against abortion. We one song called "Abortion," Mind Distortion. The whole world is out of proportion. You want to play this in every Walkman? Abortion. You must be crazy to kill a newborn baby, then run into church talking about preacher, preacher, save me. So those are some of the lyrics because we were conscious. So we would know people when we walked in a room, people stopped cursing because and when we started, they know we was known as the Bible Kids of Rap. We
Mhm.
made songs like "All the Way to Heaven." You know what I'm saying? We made it cool to talk about going to heaven. So it was but it was wonderful growing up because
Mhm.
what you did, you separated yourself from the evil, or you became a lesser of a greater evil. There was a greater evil around you. You had to be bad to live in there because I ain't gonna lie, I beat up a couple, knocked a couple of heads off, stomped out. I river danced on a couple of people because you had to do that to survive. I didn't want to
Yeah.
do that. I wanted to be a minister, but I can't do that because if I walk around with the Bible, they'll be slapping me upside my head. So
Right.
I went to the streets, but at the same token, I kept who I was, the spiritual part of who I was, the sane part, and I kept myself educated even in the streets. To differentiate myself, I stayed away from drugs, stayed out of nightclubs, and so I always stayed well dressed. And if anybody know me from Harlem, they'll tell you I'm changing 3 or 4 times a day. I got three places just to keep my clothes. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
My girlfriend was in the newspaper. She was the flyest girl in the 5 boroughs. In the 10th grade, she had 22 mink coats. So no, you can't mess with us. You know what I'm saying? I'm the Black Sammy Davis Jr.
So I want you to tell me how you and Dougie one met and how your relationship has changed and grew over the years.
Well, Doug was in the street. We considered it wilding out, running with a bunch of guys but I used to notice him because I'm saying, well, dog, this guy's like the leader of all these guys and stuff, but he always fighting. He was going through his own things, but he was young,
Mhm.
you know. But one day I was with his sister and I hear this music and I said to his sister, I don't know how I didn't know your brother play a synthesizer. She said he don't got no synthesizer. That fool doing that with his mouth. I was like, get out of here. That's impossible. So she took me down the back fire escape. We looked through a window, and sure
Mhm.
enough, he was getting down. I was like, oh my God. So I knocked on the window. I told him, no, I can get you rich. You know what I'm saying? So I took him to a club called Broadway Internationals, which was in Harlem.
Mhm.
It was on 100. It's actually in Spanish. Spanish. It was uptown, 146th Street, Amsterdam, and
Mhm.
Broadway. But people like Michael Jackson, all the big wigs performed there. But I knew the guy who owned it. He was Italian. He used to tell everybody I was his son because I thought I was a grown man. I had a little. I had a car at 16. You know what I'm saying? A foreign car at that.
Mhm.
Champagne gold seats, brown trimming. Couldn't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I brought Doug to the club. The guy paid me $175 for Doug to do the show. I think I gave Doug $50 and took them to McDonald's afterwards.
Uh-huh.
and pocketed the rest of the money. The next show was 250. I think I gave him 75, and eventually I started telling him I brought him right to the guy. He started going himself, making his own money, and one thing led to another, and he's Dougie Fresh today. And so the relationship changed because he went from looking up to me, following me, to us looking at each other eye to eye. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? And so right now we like brothers now. It's not like we friends, we brothers because we've been through a lot together.
Mhm.
And I look up to him as a brother, sometimes even a father right now, because you know that's the hardest working man I know right there next to myself.
Mhm.
I'm more versatile in different things because I'm involved with everything. Well,
Mhm.
he's doing different things, but he's doing it for real. Out
Right.
of a year, 365 days, he's working about
Mhm.
225 days. That's a miracle for not to have put out no new music in maybe 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he got some new music out, but I mean music that really smashed. And he's doing okay, man. And he's holding down his community, his family, and families. And I love him for that. He's setting a really great example for what a black man should be.
I agree. I want you to tell me how you feel, in your own words, how you affected the culture during your time with the Get Fresh crew.
Well, once again, my major effect inside the culture was fashion. One, I remember Bobby Brown mother telling him, "Yo, you got to take that, cut your hair like his," because I had the high top fade and all that. So
Mhm.
he got the fade, and and then like I said, it bleeded over to everybody. Teddy Riley, I affected all of these kids because that was like some of the kids I was raising too before they was famous. Timmy Gatlin, um, and you have different other women that's designers now. Mel Maxey, who's like Dapper Dan nephew, I
Mhm.
influenced him. Alpo influenced him. Richard Porter, that whole little crew right there. They all used to come to the Rucker game just to see what I was gonna have on. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Because I always made a show out of everything I did. So I affected the culture and the fashion, um, to the point where you got guys like Cameron wearing all pink. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of influence I had with Keith Sweat and different guys who wasn't, I already had money before these guys even came out the house. So
Right.
they was watching me. I never watched them. They watched me. You know what I'm saying? So fashion, I'm getting ready to be in a reality show called Fashion Flip. I'm a fashion coach in that
Mhm.
show. Dapper Dan is going to be the host of the show, and that happens because cats in Harlem. Big shout out to the Harlem Gatsby, Harlem American. These are all the people that I affected. I taught the Harlem Gatsby how to dress when he was 12 years old. I started with him when 12 years old. That's Dart Coxum, which is from Harlem American. They call him the Harlem Gatsby. So these are like my students to this day. You know what I'm saying? I'm still me. Listen, I'm telling you, wherever I go, I'm still me and Dapper Dan is still killing them to this day. We holding it down for Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere, either they calling him me and calling me Dap, but you know what I'm saying? I go places people like Dapper Dan. I said I'm not Dapper Dan. You know what I'm saying? and he going through the same thing. They calling him Davey Sharks. You know, he said I'm Dap. Yeah, so we
So,
had a big influence of Eric B and Rakim
uh-huh.
also. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because these are guys that was around me before they got that paper. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it was a big influence. Right now, that relationship changed. Eric B is like my boss now. You know what I'm saying? So things change. But humility allows me to still be there and not feel bad because Puff Daddy is a multimillionaire, was a kid I was giving $10 and $20 to. I'm happy that you're up there because you know as well as I know that I treated you like a king then. You didn't have to be rich for me to treat you like a king. I treated you like a king when you had nothing. So when you see me, you give me the respect that I deserve
Mhm.
because I gave you the respect that you deserve. I see it in you. Will Smith, he was on his knees when I first met him. I picked him off his knees. I told him, listen, let me tell you something. I see it in your face. You're going to be somebody so rich, you're not going to believe it. And today, he is exactly what I told him.
Wow.
Exactly what I told him. That's what he is today. But I
Wow.
picked him off his knees in front of Doug and Slick Rick. I told him I'll never do that to nobody. You're gonna be bigger than these guys, and he is.
So what was the relationship like between you and Slick Rick since you mentioned just brought him up?
Well, at first it wasn't good because remember, Slick left Doug, and that's how I came in
Mm-hmm.
to perform. I was used to always be around Doug. You know what I'm saying? I was like the one, if they had any problems, I would solve their problems.
Mm-hmm.
But after when Rick left, we had to put a new element to the group. So I was the new element. You know, I brought style, dance, and laughter to a religious group. And so now it was sexy to be part of the Get Fresh crew.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we religious guys, but we sexy as a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So, okay. So, in this day and age, how do you feel that social media, internet, places like Facebook, IG, all these social media platforms have affected the culture that you pretty much started in from the beginning up until now?
Well, it's allowing everybody. Before you had to earn your bones to be somebody. Now a nobody can get an Instagram page and overnight he's an overnight sensation. And listen, I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? If you work it, work it. You know what I'm saying? But it has affected the fact because it's no rules no more.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody can start a show tomorrow any way they want. It's no rules, and no one is being trained to do anything. They're just doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a positive effect, but it's a negative effect because once again there's no guidelines, and when there's no order, there is confusion, and that's what you see a lot: mass confusion, disrespect, kids committing suicide because they trolling and all of this. They talking about people, children. They talking about people, mothers. That's stuff that you didn't do that. You in my era, you know better than that. You don't do those things. But now all systems go now. Everything is on the table.
Right, that's
And
true.
everyone wants to be a star. Even if you want to be a famous rat, you could be a famous rat. Before, if you were a rat, you had to hide. Now you could be a rich, famous rat. You
Yeah.
know, so
speak,
you know what
speak.
I'm
Well, I wasn't gonna go there, but since you brought that up,
saying?
what is your take on that situation coming from Harlem? Coming
Well,
from.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, right? When I was in the street, I went by street codes that really a book that I've never read. It's unspoken rules which a lot of brothers suffering behind those unspoken rules. I'm not in the street. I am a legal tax-paying citizen. I don't care. You can tell on the world because if you ain't doing nothing wrong, you got nothing to worry about. But if you doing something wrong, you got to worry about a snitch. But the snitch that's making millions, let's do it. Let's get the bag. That's it. If that's what you want to do, that's what you do. But let's get the bag. Let me feed some families. I just left Queens. I
Hmm.
fed 2,000 people, 2,000 family heads. So if there was two people in each household, 6,000 people benefited for the food I gave out today in Queens. Me, Eric B, Keisha, um, Davis, and a lot of other people that is a part of this feeding program. Every Saturday, you come with your shopping carts. We give you a shopping cart full of food and two
Hmm.
shopping bags. That's what I'm talking about. Giving back to your community and helping people. And I'm talking about good food, fresh salmon, fresh frozen turkey wings that you got to cook, fresh chicken, eggs, rice, beans, all kind of vegetables. You got milk, cereal, whatever you think of is going to be in that cart, and it's enough food for you to feed your family. Sweet potato, French fries, all type of stuff. So this program, we've been inviting people. We had Peter Guns come out. We
Hmm.
had the DA from the Bronx, Darcel Clark, come out. We're
Hmm.
waiting for Dermot Shea, which is the head of the commission of the police. We're waiting for him to come out. We had Chief Madry come out, which is the chief of community affairs police. He came out.
Hmm.
We're gonna have what's the name already committed. Fans on Love, the comedian Fans on Love, committed.
Mhm.
We got Mike Epps is going to come out one Saturday with us. I had some famous photographers come over and shoot some footage of the people. We're gonna have Mel Maxey, which is a designer. He made clothes for Wendy Williams
Mhm.
and Ocho Cinco and a bunch of the celebrities. Eric B. and Rakim, he made clothes for everybody. He's also Dapper Dan's nephew. He's coming out. So that's what we try to do. I'm gonna invite you out. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? If I can get you out of work, you know what I'm saying? Invite you over and let you see what's going on. You know, hit you over some food too. So I ain't gonna send you home hungry. Hit you off with a trunk full of food. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still, I got a car waiting for me outside. We just gave 125 gallons of milk to the
Mhm.
Apostle House in Newark, New Jersey for the children, and a domestic violence house. We also gave them food. I have frozen boxes of frozen turkey wings. These boxes are $150 a box. I'm giving out. I got the sweet potato French fries. Everything that's left over, we go to other places and give the food away. My night won't end till about 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm finally back at my house. But I spend all day get to my community as far as I can reach. I'm gonna try to reach them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So, since you have been such a big influencer for so many, I did want to ask you about the relationship, if any, because I did have Lil Vicious on the show some time back. What was the relationship like with you and him, since he is a protege of Dougie Fresh? Well, did we get? He might have froze y'all. Hold on. Yep, he froze y'all. Let's see if we can get him back. Up, he froze. All right. While we're waiting for him to come back, we got a couple of more shows coming up before we actually do the 3 year Something for the Culture episode, which we are still currently working on. So y'all don't want to miss that. We will have XYLE on Sunday night, which is tomorrow night. So y'all look out for that as well. And yeah, we just got a couple of more episodes before we get to um, the anniversary episode. So if y'all are unsigned, whether you are a singer, rapper, pop, whatever it is your talent is, music wise, art, cooking, writer, whatever, and you want some promotion and want to get out there outside of your local area where you reside at, hit up Something for the Culture page. We will get back to you in a timely manner, or you can hit us up at something for the people at yahoo.com. Just send, your bio, any music you have. Um, we'll get back to you in a timely fashion. Let's see if we can get Mr. Sharks back. Let's see here, y'all. Also, while we're waiting for him, I do want to tap on this. This is the time where, if you have not registered to vote, please do so. This is the most important. I mean, I know we say every year is the most important election, but this year, nonetheless, is the most important election ever. We have a man in office that is basically trying to take everything from us, and we just need to get him out. I mean, he's not really good. He's not for us. And I'm not talking about for brown people or minorities. He's not for the middle class working people. He's not. He is for rich and up. Okay? So y'all need to vote, register. Please register. I don't care if You just register for this 1 year and you never vote again. Just vote this year. Make sure that you do. Get your friends out there, parents, babies, whatever, whoever, get them out there. So it's very important that we go and use our right. And I know a lot of people say that, oh, well, I don't want to vote because nobody's hearing us. It doesn't matter. Our vote doesn't count. That's not true. Our voice matters. Our vote counts. Not just in the presidential elections, but in our own cities. We have to, vote for all our mayors and our officials in our area for stuff to change. If y'all want change, this is the time to start implementing that right now. So please vote. All right. We might have to take a little brief break. Let me see if we can get Davey back, and we'll be right back.